Hey guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today we're going to take this pile of wood and we're going to turn it into an entryway bench. We're going to post on Facebook Marketplace, hopefully make some quick money. Let's go see how we did it. All right, so I milled up those pallet boards using, kind of the regular techniques that everybody uses. And here, I'm going ahead and using some new questionable woodworking skills where I'm just marking on the bench some marks that I want to use to go ahead and lay out this bench. I want the overall bench to be about 36 inches. Now these legs right here, they already have a 15-degree angle cut on one side. I'm going to go ahead and clamp them down to the bench. And then I'm immediately going to unclamp them. I'm going to use the 3-inch board to measure from the bottom 3 inches because, like tape measures are hard to use, I guess. Here I'm using a 1-inch piece of molding, once again, to measure 1 inch from the leg to the outside. That's how far I want the stringer to overhang. And I could have used a tape measure, but apparently measuring with a tape measure is my nemesis. So I'm using a piece of 1-inch molding. All right, so off camera, I went ahead and cut all the rest of the legs with the 15-degree angle on one side. And now I'm using the tape measure on the side of my 2-foot level to measure up 17 inches and make a mark. The 17 inches comes from my Google search on the average height of what a bench should be. And then once I make the marks, I go ahead and employ my 3rd grade skills of connect the dots. All right, so here I'm going to make 1 leg cut on a table saw. Both ends are 15 degrees, and now it's cut down to the size that I need. And here I'm going to use the chop saw set up with a stop block to go ahead and make all 4 legs exactly the same, or so I thought. It didn't happen that way. Here I am cutting out the laps or the joints or the inlays or grooves or whatever they're called. But I did have to switch sides on the table saw because apparently they are left and right-handed. So I put everything real quick and checked the angle here. And how about that? Look at that. They're both exactly the same angle. I do the glue in the thing with the finger spreader outer. I assemble it all, use my high-tech 1-inch molding to make sure I'm in the right spot. And then, of course, I go ahead and nail it in place because I don't trust modern adhesive technology or my woodworking skills at all. Here I'm going to go ahead and make a top. It's another just kind of mark and cut scenario. Oh, look at that. I go ahead and mark it and cut it and measure it, and it doesn't come out right. Shocker. Here I'm screwing it all together with these pocket holes that I put in. But I did not glue anything yet. That turns out to be an important factor later in this game of choose your own adventure woodworking. All right, so when both sides are assembled, I go ahead and line them up because I want to make the cross members that's going to make the width of the bench. And I find this. Look at this. It's like one side is too long, one side is too tall. I don't even know what's going on here. The other side's not as bad, but it's got the same problem. So like with all my problems, what I'm going to do is mark them and then either ignore them or cut them off. In this case, I'm going to cut them off. Most of them anyway. I go ahead and do this new chop saw technique on the old chop saw here. So cutting them down on the mark right there made all the legs the same height, which is going to make the bench level in the end. So that's kind of good news. Okay, now honestly, I'm sure it's the fact that the angles are wrong or the angles are messed up and it's pallet wood. I really don't know why the legs are off. Like I showed you where they don't match up and I don't really have a good way to fix it. So I think what I'm going to rely on is that it's going to kind of be spread out a little bit. So then the fact that they're off isn't going to be that big a deal. You can't even really see it. All right, let's move on. And like a good woodworker, I went ahead and remade those 2 top runners. So I went ahead and remeasured them cut them back down, because now the legs are shorter, the angle is going to be different. So I went ahead and cut 2 new ones, put in pocket holes, glued it all together, fixed it all up. I assembled both sides, make everything correct, and then here comes a disaster. Yep, I screwed the second runner up top on backwards. So that problem I kind of ignored. These are the cross members that's going to make the width of the bench. All right, guys, here's the mock-up. We don't have a top yet. I'm going to make whatever top and flatten it and stain it. But I do want to point out that this bench sits pretty flat on the workbench. I was kind of thinking it was going to be a little crooked or a little wobbly. But let's go ahead and point out the mistakes so that we're keeping it 100 on this channel. You see this space right here where this cross member lines up, this space right here? Notice that in order to keep them lined up, it's different right here. So this edge runs to here. Because remember, we said earlier in the bench that for some reason these 2 legs are shifted. They're not lined up. And I don't really know why. Keeping it 100 again. Here's those screw holes that I put this cross member on exactly backwards. And then when I tried to fix it, of course, the angle is different. So the screw hole should be on the inside, but they're on the outside. A little bit of wood filler, we're going to sand it off. Now look over here. This space right here isn't too bad. This space right here isn't too bad. Those are a lot closer. It's just kind of that other leg that's a little messed up. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and make some marks. I'm going to line the boards up, glue them in place, and then clamp them shut. That's the plan. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, here's some beat up oak 2x4s. I'm not really sure 100% if they're red or white oak yet. I got them off a pallet somewhere, and I want to use them for the top of that bench. And these boards seem okay. These 2 boards have a pretty good bow in them. So I'm going to go ahead and instead of running through the planer straight away, I'm going to cut some curved relief lines and crank it down onto the bench, and kind of stick some wood wedges in there to flatten the board out. I've never done it like that before. Normally I just kind of wrestle with the planer. So let's go and learn that technique. Why not, right? All right, so this board is bowed this way, which means this is the concave side, this is the convex side. I'm going to put a convex side down, and I'm going to cut relief cuts on the concave side. So convex side down. So now the board's sitting this way. I'm going to make some relief cuts and then cranked it down to the bench. Yeah, this is going to work out great because I can almost straighten it out just like that. Now I'm just going to simply take some shims, stick them in there with some glue, let it dry like that, and we're going to move on from there. All right, guys, this is where we're at. I took the clamps off. I cut the shims, do a little preliminary action before the big reveal on the video, and that board is way straighter than it was. But I don't know if you can see, it still has a rock in it So there's still a bit of a bow, but it's way better. What I'm thinking happened is I cut those relief cuts and I cranked the board down to the table. And then when I put the shims and the glue in there, either I didn't take up enough space to hold it flat, or there was never enough cuts in it to begin with, or when the board came back after I took the clamps off, it compressed some of that wood in those shims. But either way, it would work in the planer right now. I could put on the planer sled; it would work just fine. But I'm kind of stubborn, so we're gonna go ahead and put a couple more kerf marks, a couple more shims, see if we can get as flat as the table. All right, so let's do that. All right, here's some progress. Everybody gets 2 flat faces, and everybody gets 2 straight edges for the glue up. All right, so here I got all these scrap oak boards. What I'm doing here is making sure they're all the same thickness. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick the board with the smallest width and then cut everything down to that width. And that's what we're going to use for the bottom of the bench. I'm not going to make you watch me paint this thing. There it is, done. Look at that. All painted. This stain right here is dark walnut on red oak. I like the way it turns out. I did it on another piece on a different video before, and I just used it again. It looks real nice. All right, here. Lastly, when I assemble this, you see I'm going to glue the top on. I also make some little brackets out of some scrap wood so that I can go ahead and glue it to the top of the bench and the sides of the bench, you know, because I'm not real confident in my woodworking abilities for this thing to stay together by itself without more glue. How about that? It's okay, right? I'm a terrible cameraman. Hey guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and take some pictures and go post it up on Facebook Marketplace, see if we can sell and make some money. But as always, guys, I hope the video taught you something. I hope you learned from my mistakes. I hope it inspired you to go ahead and make your own bench and maybe sell and make some money. But other than that, guys, go tell everybody you know, and let's keep this YouTube channel rolling. Out. Thanks, guys.